And welcome to this edition of Onme Sunday Mornings. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, along with
Lennox Najib.
And today we are at our lovely cafe because we were filming here earlier for the Onme Network. And the Onme Network is something that we have made sure that you have been knowing about. We've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks. And we've been saying how that's really portraying what's happening throughout the Central Valley. And so far, Valley Black Talk Radio eventually will be on every day. At this point, they're on Sundays and then repeat on Monday. They're on Tuesdays, repeats on Wednesday, and then live on Thursday, repeats on Friday. So technically Monday through Friday, with a little bit of a leeway in between for people that miss that Sunday show, because people got their Sunday night shows they want to watch. One
thing about this show, the radio show, you can actually see the person. You can see the personalities. You can see the looks and expressions. It's a little different than just radio where you just hear sound, and you can still call in.
And it's relaxed because you have people drinking coffee if that's what's in the cup, and you have people that are, at least when I say people, the hosts that are just talking. They don't even know when to stop at the breaks. It's not like a radio or in the studio and they're actually stopping. I got to get them to stop and they won't stop, but that's okay. And the Onme Network is really for also all of the Valley. We're going to be having other nonprofit organizations that are going to be talking about what they're doing. That'll be something once a week, and other correspondents from throughout the Central Valley. So you got to stay tuned for more on that Onme Network. And to find out more about the Onme Network, you can go to myonme.com. That's myonme.com. If you want to watch the live TV, you can go to onmetv.com. So myonme.
This is so simple. myonme.com.
And that's how you find out more about that. So I guess we have a bit of news to talk about. We went to Hanford NACCP event in Hanford, where we saw Paula Massey, who is the new Kings County president and chair, and so we'll be talking about that. Of course, we also have Fresno CDFI, that part series that we've been discussing in regards to funding for African American businesses, minority businesses in general, and also women-owned businesses. We also have some local news, such as local and more so California news. More update on the train incident, the women that went to Napa Valley. So we're going to be discussing that. And so that's more of a California-wide news. Also, an Apple or the Apple Board of Directors has a new African American. That's the first of its kind. I guess they're trying to diversify. So we'll be able to discuss some of those upcoming issues and information. And I think that's it that we're going to be discussing. And meanwhile, we're still encouraging people to save on water. And the reason why is, in September we saved about 25%.
Yes, and that helped a lot right now in the city of Fresno. So now they have a mandate to save even more. So we still haven't reached our limits of what we can do, but we are going in that positive direction.
We're really trying to get that goal of 28%. And that's what's going to cut down on, we've got to cut down and make sure we're on those correct days that we're watering. So make sure you look at those commercials in between where we're telling you the days that you are not supposed to be watering and the days that you are supposed to be watering. We just had a nice brief rain though.
Yeah, and that was good. To have the rain come down and that much needed. I'm sure the farmers are happy about that. And we are happy because it's so rare that we appreciate the rain more now. So
we want to remind people to also check out the Mississippi Freedom Summer 1964 exhibit, and that's by the McLean High School students. It's the Art Venture Academy, and in fact we filmed there a few weeks ago so people could see the background. It was the first day of Art Hop, it was packed in there. They had a busload of students that came in to be able to watch performances. There's artwork upstairs, artwork downstairs at the African American Historical Cultural Museum of the San Joaquin Valley, and that's located on 1857 Fulton Street in Fresno, California. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check that out yet, go ahead and call the museum at 559-544-1857, and that way you can find out where you can book a tour or go to the closing ceremony on October 17th. and that'll be at 5 p.m. And these students are very phenomenal. They do reenactments. The monologues are very real. You could say that you could see how they've spent time and put work into it.
One thing about it, they're learning what happened in the past back in 1964 and what's really went on way before they was even born, even before I was even born. So that's good educational, hands-on research.
Yeah, and well, I guess we're still waiting for those local updates. I know there are some issues with the Fresno Unified with the dusting of the emails, and I know we've discussed that. And when we get more updates, because I know that the superintendent, Dr. Michael Hansen, was going on a radio program to be able to discuss those issues. But you know, as more news comes out about that, because people were asking us to be able to discuss that. But until we get more news and information on that, can we discuss that? And we still, even though that happened a few days ago, because I know today is Sunday, to the families in Oregon where the shooting occurred, and we're seeing more and more of that. And eventually that'll have to be an issue that we discuss when we're talking about, you know, our children at stake. I still call them children, even though they're college students. They are still in harm's way. We're going to have to be able to discuss these gun laws and what we can do to change that. But meanwhile, after the break, we're going to talk about some California news this week. And you're watching Onme Sunday Mornings. We'll be right back.
Join us at the Homecoming Weekend Sunday Brunch to fight against cancer, October 11th at Toledo's Mexican Restaurant. The fundraiser is for Steve Shelley, who is currently in that fight to win. Toledo's restaurant is located off of 367 East Shaw Avenue, the corner of Shaw and Fresno Streets, 11:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Today's grocery bags leave a lot to be desired. They spill open when you're driving, and unloading them requires endless trips back and forth to your car. You need a grab bag. It grabs onto your cart and stays open so you can easily fill it after items are scanned. Then when you get to the car, it simply lifts out and goes right in your trunk. Grab bags also sit up nicely in the back of your car, and they let you grab and go in a single trip. Call now, and through this special TV offer, you'll get 2 grab bags for just $14.99. They come with a full 1-year money-back guarantee. Call or click in the next 5 minutes and get absolutely free shipping and handling. And find out about our incredibly low price on our deluxe insulated grab bag. Use it to keep frozen food from defrosting, or use it to keep hot food ready to eat when you get home. This free shipping offer won't last long, so call now.
Call 1-800-308-9513 to get your grab bags, but you must call 1-800-308-9513 or go online to grabbag.com. Call now.
And welcome back to Onme Sunday Mornings. My name is Julia Dudley Najib, along with
Dennis Najib.
And I know locally, when we are looking at what's been happening in the community as far as young people getting shot, because I know you were really taken back by when you heard the 2 brothers that were shot.
Well,
as of recent, this past week.
Well, it happened on Belmont, down away from the Art Cafe, on Belmont Street, and to find out that gunshots was heard and 2 young men were slain and murdered, basically. It was very heart-wrenching. I'm sure for the mother, my condolences to the mother that has to lose 2 of her babies to nonsense. I'm sure it was. So yeah, anytime you see any African American or any life that's been snuffed out or taken due to gang violence or due to an improper way to conduct themselves in a civilized manner, is heart-wrenching.
Yes, it is, indeed. And so we got to begin to talk about those issues, what we're going to do. I know we've talked about it before, and I guess we're going to keep talking about it till we're blue in the face, you know. And also local news, we got to see Paula Massey, who is now the new Kings County NAACP president, and we were able to visit Hanford. So let's take a look at those clips, and then we'll discuss it shortly. Let's take a look.
So now our feet are really on the ground, and I'm grateful for all of you guys who are here today and have made this possible. Without any of you, the membership wouldn't be what it is right now. I mean, you've really been out there running and trying to get people to sign up even until the last minute, and I want to appreciate you for that. All I can just say is that we're on. We got some things in the fire that we're going to be continuing on doing, getting them next year, and we got some committees to form. So, look out among you and those people who feel like could be a part of any of the committees that we have. Let us know. We'll bring that to the executive meeting, and we're on the cracking.
So we got a chance to take a look at those clips and seeing Paula Massey, who has been a correspondent on our show and also on Valley Black Talk Radio, and very excited to start making moves and getting things moving in that whole area, and also with the Tulare area, and making sure that there's a connection also with the Fresno, what's happening here.
One thing I noticed that she has a passion. She really has a passion to help African American people, our people, to strive and get the certain necessary benefits and needs and services from her. And it's going to take, it's going to be a good challenge for her.
Yeah.
And it's going to be something that we look forward to seeing great results from.
And those changes are necessary, and she's definitely the person to be able to make that happen. So we're excited, and congratulations to Paula Massey. You're in that seat for a reason, and you definitely deserve it. And they're going to have an official ceremony, and all the officers deserve it. They're also all women. There's women power, I'll just say.
All women?
All women.
Oh.
And on that executive branch of the NAACP there in Kings County. And so we'll be hearing more. We'll keep updated and see what's going on in that area in Hanford and also Tulare. We've also gotten a chance to meet with the council person, Carlton Jones. We'll be speaking with him in a couple of weeks to get more, and he's the vice mayor out there in Tulare, and a lot of people may not be aware of that.
I wasn't aware of that he was a vice mayor out there. I
He's a mover
have
and
no,
shaker.
I have no idea.
A mover and shaker out there. So it's going to be, I can't wait till we talk to him about, and we did get to talk to him, but talk to him on camera about what he's doing and what the community's doing. He's more so about community. He's never wanted the camera to just be on him. He wanted to be about what's happening with his constituents, what's happening in his community. And that's important, but it's still important to hear that voice from that African American voice there. And I think there's 3 principals there in Tulare in the education system.
See,
So we're going to be able to find
without
out.
this program, I would have never known that.
Yeah, well, we would have known it because we talked to him, but at least it's good we're able to find that. We're able to find out about Grandmother's House, which is, she's going to be honored as a trailblazer this year by the African American Museum. So those are some of the local items that we'll be keeping you abreast of what is happening and taking place, more so like we said around those surrounding areas. And if there's information that you would like to send us about what's happening in your area, whether in Pixley, Madera, Merced, Modesto, any of those locations. Visalia, and all the cities in between, of course, Fowler, then please send us an email, media@amptvnow.com. That's media@amptvnow.com. I think after the break, we're going to be talking about some California news. One is going to be about the 11 ladies on the Napa train. We also have the talking about Apple, the board that's right there in Cupertino, California. You're watching Onme Sunday Mornings. We'll be right back.
Most companies sell just a few insurance plans. Buy from them and you may not get a plan with the doctors, the coverage, and the price you want. But at ICANN, we work for you.
I called ICANN and got a subsidized major medical plan for half the price I used to pay.
I called ICANN, and they found a plan for me that actually allowed me to keep my doctor, and they really lowered my price.
So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN. Get covered.
Welcome back to Onme Sunday Mornings. We're getting right into our California news, and this news happens to come out of Napa Valley. And we know that there were 11 women who went on it was a book trip where they discussed books, and it was the Napa Valley wine train, where they take the wine trail. And
well, they was complaining, the other passengers, of them being loud. Just a recap, being loud on a train. From I believe a book club.
Yes,
so
a book
they
club.
was complaining to them, so they was escorted out in front of, in their mind, other patrons.
Where they were embarrassed.
And they was embarrassed. So now they filed a lawsuit of $11 million for, I guess, assuming that each passenger that was, well, not passenger, the ladies that was complaining, each get $1 million apiece. So now a lawsuit has been filed, even though the company, the train company, apologized, both in verbally and in writing.
It was very humiliating for the ladies. That's what they felt. And so even though the lawsuit's been filed, discrimination suit's been filed, we know that the company, Napa Valley Wine Train Incorporated, has an FBI agent?
Yes.
They said FBI,
They have
right?
an FBI agent.
Not a personal investigator, an FBI agent?
They have an FBI agent.
Why FBI?
Which don't make any sense to
Yeah,
me.
that doesn't make sense.
But
They could just be saying that and maybe not know what they're talking about. Maybe they really want to say personal investigator and perhaps...
Well, they have an FBI investigator going in there to get the statements and go in there. And to have the FBI be involved, it's like an official investigator,
Right.
so to speak, to disclaim a lawsuit. And that's the strategy they use that for, because when you go into legal court and everything else, now you have this high-ranking investigator going there to throw out the claim.
Gotcha.
So
we're going to find out what happens more with that as the case goes along, keep giving you updates. And some interesting news out of Cupertino, California. We have James Bell, who has been named to be part of one of the board members, as a board member of 8. In fact, Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, is being praised for that, for being able to have more diversity, because we know that there's been complaints about Silicon Valley not having enough diversity when you're talking about the corporate structure and the corporate hierarchy. And so James Bell is going to be fulfilling that particular position. He was also the ex-CFO of Boeing Incorporated. So everyone's familiar with Boeing, like the jets,
well,
like the
they're
airplanes.
looking at his background, and they're bringing him on for the main purpose and his skill level to bring diversity in that board. They can show equitable.
Doesn't mean that there's necessarily equity, though, in the Silicon Valley. There's still more work to be done. But that's a start. For Apple to do that, that's a start.
There's a lot more work to be done, but it is a start. They're showing that they've taken a positive direction in diversity within that board. And that's more than what a lot of companies are doing right now. A lot of them are, even in this valley, even in this city, are not even doing that portion of that.
And he has quite a record. So it's not like they are just hiring on like affirmative action or anything like that. He's not the token. He really does have a really extensive background, and he's very successful at what he has done. So
he actually qualifies for that position.
He's qualified for that position. I just have to say that. And so he will be on that board, and well, he'll be the only African American on that board. At least there's some representation, I guess.
And hopefully he may bridge a gap or open a door for others to come through and bring even more diversity, especially if he does a good job. Kind of like Jackie Robinson in baseball. He opened the door for a lot.
Open the door, and that's how it begins. That's how it starts when we're looking at diversity. And there is the Million Man March that's coming up, and I know people were asking about our local take on that. And I don't know if there's anything happening here locally, because I think a lot of people are just that are going or that have an interest are going to the Million Man March. So we'll be able to cover and find out more information about what's happening here locally. I know that we did talk with Daryl Muhammad with the Fresno Study Group, and I think most of them are going there to the location.
Well, the theme for the Million Man March is justice
or else. Yeah, justice or else.
And the date of the Million Man March is October 10th, 2015.
So it's 10/10.
2015. And the place is Washington, D.C. So for the audience that don't know what the Million Man March is entailed, I went to the Million Man March 20 years ago personally, and it was quite an event that I'll never forget. So
And we'll see what this event entails, because this is the 20th anniversary in celebration. You have Minister Louis Farrakhan, who is heading and leading this particular Million Man March that's coming up. And I guess we'll have to find out more, because I know there's always criticisms on the first one. We'll see how that comes out. I know in our national broadcast, AMPTV Now News, we go a little bit more in depth and detail about the economic structure, so you'll have to either watch that online or watch some of the repeats about that. But we'll find out locally, because I know there were local organizing committees that were supposed to come back to the communities and be able to bring it to the next step when we're looking at the economics of African Americans in those local communities. So we'll see what this one will bring about, and whether it's 1 million men and women, and it looks like it's for all people of color. And so we'll be able to give you more information about that on a local level to see what is happening. And then after the break, we will see the excerpt of CDFI. Fresno CFI has been doing that special, letting us know, Jason Gridiron and Jeremy Hoffer, about how to get funding and access to funding. You're watching Onme Sunday Mornings. We'll be right back.
Hey Fresno, we had a 25% reduction in water for the month of September, but we've got some work to do because we are still facing $10,000 in fines. Let's get to that 28% that the governor wants us to get to and that we want to get to by honoring this watering schedule. No watering on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Odd number addresses are on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Even numbered addresses are on Wednesdays and Sundays. No watering between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. Let's make it a happy place for us. This message has been brought to you by the City of Fresno.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call right now, 800-658-0716, 800-658-0716, 800-658-0716. That's 800-658-0716.
Welcome back to Onme Sunday Mornings. We're on that last part where we're wrapping up, and we always like to end with Valley Black Talk Radio. We've been doing a series with Fresno CDFI, Jeremy Hoffer and Jason Gridiron. And this was a very important interview, not just for the business owner, but I say for all parties involved. And the reason being is because we're talking about access to funding where the traditional funding does not always work. There's usually not, you know, a lot of people have gone through discrimination based on who they are, based on their color, and so
not only that, it's the credit issues, the barriers, different types of barriers. One is credit, one is access to capital, which entitled that you have to make a certain amount of income to justify paying that loan back. So there's a lot of criteria, sticky criteria that prevent one to even think about applying for the loan because in their mind they have fear they may not get it. So this is taking that fear out and maybe go after getting that loan.
So let's take a look at this short excerpt of Fresno CDFI explaining more about how you can get qualified. Let's take a look.
Well, I was just going to say a starting point a lot of times for us is to get people together, and we do workshops in the communities, we do trainings, and so that type of, that's our marketing. I mean, that's where our time and our marketing money goes to is to workshops. So we do a loan readiness workshop, but we also do capital access, talking about not just loans, but how do you build equity? What are different strategies for building equity, pooling equity, partnering, crowdfunding? I mean, we've funded businesses that have raised $20,000 off of crowdfunding from their own community, then came to us for a loan, And we were in those loan committee meetings where the bankers were going, wait, that's not their own money though. But yes, it is their own money. Right. It's sweat equity that they raised. That $20,000 is their own, skin in the game. So we've done innovative, kind of creative approaches to starting businesses, expanding businesses, and we're definitely open to doing more.
Yeah, that was. Go ahead, Joe.
Once you have made a loan, do you work with the client? I mean, do you sort of keep up with them and offer, sort of mentor them, make sure that they are conducting business well and that, they're doing the record keeping that they should be doing? And I mean, do you kind of work with them? You don't just give them the money and say,
No.
okay, now go be successful.
The way I like to put it is we treat a $20,000 loan as if
We just got a chance to take a look again. That was Jason Gridiron, Jeremy Hoffer with Mel Sanders and Joel Riversmith, and they were talking about how to be loan ready, how to make sure you are able to be in the game when it comes into the loan game, and how they really fight for you on your side. They're not necessarily the bank telling you why you don't qualify. They're the ones in the between telling banks, hey, here's why this business owner qualifies. Here's why you need to maybe, even though you might want $50,000, here's why you want to start with $5,000, and we'll get you to that point eventually. We can get you to $50,000, piece by piece, showing the credibility.
And if you don't qualify, they can say, okay, this is what I need next year, or this is what I need this time. And they will give you the steps and the necessary documents that you need so you can qualify real soon.
And you'll be able to look at a number of these recordings that Fresno CFI, we've had them on every week, and just to give you those bits and pieces of very valuable information. And that will be online for your access to be able to go back and look at. We also, people asked about the State Center Community College. Of course, we couldn't show that meeting, the State Center Community College District meeting from last week that we had on the air. But we do have 2 hours of it online, so you can be able to go to our website. You can go to myonme.com, and you can be able to go to the website to access that 2-hour piece on the meeting so that you have a better understanding of the breakdown of that $425 million bond and some of the inequity issues that the board wanted to hash out and get straightened out. The Board of Trustees, along with Dr. Bill Stewart, the interim chancellor, so you can find that information there. So that pretty much wraps up this segment of Onme Sunday Mornings. We just want to give you the local wrap and California wrap of what's happening, and we want you to have a great week and have a great Sunday.